Blessings, dear ones. This is Amanda Amethyst, and I'm bringing you a lunar taroscope for the time period between the full moon in Libra on March 23rd and the new moon in Aries on April 7th, 2016. So this is a really amazing time of year. I personally am a spring baby, so I always get very invigorated this time of year and love to become more active again in the springtime, as I'm sure many of us do. So we just passed the equinox. In the northern hemisphere, this is the vernal equinox or the spring equinox. In the southern hemisphere, it's the autumnal equinox or the fall equinox. And the equinox is a time of balance and shifting gears. So as we move through the wheel of the year, we go through a lot of different energies, and equinoxes are a point where we stop and balance and take a look at where we are balanced and where we're not balanced in our lives. So if you haven't had a chance to do that yet, this is a great time to do that. We've also got a lunar eclipse on the full moon on the 23rd. So this is a really powerful full moon. And eclipses show us, well, my feeling about this particular eclipse is that a lot of things are coming to the surface to be released. And many of these things are things that we either have not been able to see for a long time or things that we've been choosing not to look at. So whatever it is that we either have not been in a place where we could see what was actually happening, or if it was something that we were trying to avoid, those are the things that are coming up for many of us or have already come up for many of us during this time of this full moon. So just allow those things to come up and take a look at it. Take a look at yourself and just let it go if you're ready to do that. If you're not ready to do that, perhaps there's some more work to be done in certain areas before you feel complete. That's perfectly fine as well. Just know that wherever you are is absolutely perfect for you. So before I get into the reading, I'm going to share some other messages and intuitions that I've been having. And it's actually kind of funny because as I was preparing the cards, I was saging them and such, the intuition Raziel card fell out of the deck. So this is a really important sign for all of us to trust our intuition. And so this is again trusting your intuition, your inner knowing, getting in touch with how it is that you really feel and what you really truly think of whatever is going on in your life at this time, and taking action based on your inner knowing versus perhaps what society says that you should do, or perhaps what your friends or family are telling you to do. This is about coming into alignment with yourself and your truth through meditation, through grounding, through spending time in nature, and through really feeling into your own self. Which is funny because I'm also about to say something that's could be seen as a little bit contradictory to that, but we'll get to that when it comes up. So some of the messages that I have been receiving are that the energy is just going to continue to keep ramping up and moving faster and feeling quite intense. So things are going to continue to move very quickly, and our emotions, which are energy in motion, will also be flickering very quickly during this time. So allow yourself the flexibility to feel and experience the emotions that rise up to the surface and allow them to pass through you. So these same emotions which are coming at you very quickly, they're also going to potentially dissipate and go away just as quickly. So this could feel kind of confusing, but just know that we are all we're all having this experience right now, or many of us are having this experience right now. And keep that in mind too. So firstly, that you are not alone in this experience, so there's nothing wrong with you if this is what's happening in your life right now. And also bring an extra measure of patience and understanding to your interactions with others at this time, because we're all moving through these same energies and these same emotional, energetic, and physical changes and shifts at this time. So even those of us who are usually comfortable with change will be noticing things moving along at a very fast pace, which may be a little bit, it's just a new experience. So that's something that we have to look forward to at this time. Another message that I've been receiving very, very strongly is that we're all being called to come together, which is so beautiful. This is definitely a time of individual growth and expansion, right? And it's also a time to really support one another in each of our individual growth and expansion, and also in the communities and the collectives which we are building at this time. The concept of interbeing is very important right now, and I feel very called to share this. This is a concept that was introduced to me by Buddhist Zen master and world teacher Thich Nhat Hanh. Interbeing. We inter-are. So the concept is that the perception of a separate self, or of me, or mine, is an illusion. There is no independent self. Myself is made up of non-self particles. So one example that Tay, our teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, shares with us so that we may begin to understand the concept of interbeing. He says, and I'm going to read a quote to you here. He says that if you are a poet, you will see clearly that there is a cloud floating in this sheet of paper. Without a cloud, there will be no rain. Without rain, the trees cannot grow. And without trees, we cannot make paper. The cloud is essential for the paper to exist. If the cloud is not here, the sheet of paper cannot be here either. So we can say that the cloud and the paper inter-are. Interbeing is a word that is not in the dictionary yet, but if we combine the prefix inter with the verb to be, we have a new verb, interbe. There are a lot of writings and discourses on interbeing, and there's also the order of interbeing, which is applied Buddhism. There's a lot of information about that online, so I encourage you, if you're interested in this concept, to look into it further. And just know that at this time, we're being called upon to realize this truth of interbeing and to come together in groups of friends, groups of soul family and colleagues, to share our visions of the new earth. This new earth which we are collectively creating at this time. We dreamers and doers, we may often feel that we're alone in our mission, or alone in our particular worldview. People may have told us that we're not normal, or that we are, kind of weird or on the fringe. And there are many of us. So if your particular social group does not include people who have the same view of reality as you, perhaps it's time to begin to explore a new group. Find people who do support you for who you are and what you believe in, because we are out here. We may feel unsupported in the work that we are here to accomplish. Please know that you're always surrounded by the love and support of your soul family, your guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters. We are. I invite you to start a potluck group in your community where people can come together to share ideas, to ask for support that they need, and to collaborate. If you do not live in a community where this is possible, then I invite you to join me and a group that will form online. If you are interested in that, you can comment below this video or email me at nectarofthegoddesstemple@gmail.com. You can connect with me on Google Plus or Facebook for more details about this group, and we'll collaborate probably once a month and meet in some sort of video format where we can talk to each other and support each other, because we are all here in this together. Okay, so those were a lot of messages that I received, and thank you for allowing me to share them with you. And now we'll get on to the reading. I'll be using the 5th Tarot deck. It's created by Martine and Teresina Bockins, and it's tuned to the frequencies of the new earth, the 5th dimensional earth. So we're asking for guidance and support for all of those who will be watching this video. So again, this is a general reading for this time period. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can connect with me in any of the ways that I just said. You can send me an email or connect with me on Google Plus or Facebook. I also have a website that is up, and it's up and running. It's still a work in progress, but that website is amandaamethyst.com, so you can look there and see some more information about what my offerings are. I do readings and energy healing. I'd love to connect with you. All right, so let's see the guidance here for us. Here's the first one. All right. I think we're gonna do 4 this month. Usually do 3. All right, there it is. Okay, so our first card, the underlying energy of this time period for all of us is the 8 of Shells, detachment. So this is really allowing us the freedom to remove ourselves from a situation that's no longer serving us, or to allow our projects and our offerings to be released into the world without being attached to the outcome or without having to hold them in a particular way. This could be lovingly detaching from a relationship or from a person. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to leave the relationship or leave the person. This is detaching your emotional well-being from the situation, from the actions of this other person or group of people or situation in general. So knowing that your own happiness and your own peace of mind is not attached to the actions of others, to the prevalent energies that are around us. And being able to go with the flow. There's a certain element of continued motion with this. So not allowing these denser energies or certain emotions or thoughts or relationships. So for some of you, it's definitely relationships, because that keeps coming up. Not allowing these things to kind of weigh us down and drag us down, but continuing to move forward. And 8 is a manifestation number, so this is allowing ourselves, excuse me, to really kind of drop the dead weight, drop our attachment to things, and continue onward and upward. Some of the other energies, this is a supporting energy for us at this time, the 8 of Lotus, interconnectedness. So I was just giggling because it's kind of similar to what I was speaking about a moment ago. So 8 of Lotus, interconnectedness. This is the soul suit, the ether suit. So this has to do with our soul essence selves. That which is not limited to this form, this body. So knowing our interconnectedness with all life on this planet, and also our interconnectedness with beings in other realms as well. You can see that there's a flying saucer in this image, so our connection with the star beings, our connection with the elementals of the earth, our connection with, we see also there's a dragonfly in this image, which symbolizes being between worlds. So our interconnectedness with all that is on all levels, and not just here on this plane. So coming to a state of interbeing, really, is what this card is reflecting to us. So taking strength in that and finding refuge in our interconnectedness, because you are never alone. You have all the power of all that is in this reality and beyond within you. So this will help you to detach from situations which are perhaps not aligned with your highest good. Or just detach from the outcomes so that the greatest good can come to you. Okay. The Justice card. This is a major arcana card, and this is also the air suit, the feather suit, which has to do with our mind, our thoughts, our perception of reality. This card shows us that now is a time to really come into understanding of the laws of the universe. Karma, cause and effect, balance, giving and receiving, unconditional love, interbeing. So we see that there is the Fibonacci spiral and also the phi ratio, and we've got both the masculine and feminine versions of that in the squares and also in that more rounded spiral. And this woman is holding a scale, so balance, judgment, not judgment as in its negative aspect of sort of like condemning things, but discernment. Being able to discern what is going on around you and what is important for you at this time. And really aligning yourself with justice, with the cosmic laws, the cosmic laws of reality. So this card asks you to look at where are you not in alignment fully with the laws of the universe, or where have you not been in the past? Where can you step it up a little bit and come into this place of balance and alignment? knowing that you are this. And then our last card that came out is the Two of Lotus, empathy. This is another interconnection card. This is another interbeing card. And this is showing us that there's a lot of mirroring in this image. So showing us that each and every being we see or become aware of or come into contact with is a reflection of ourselves, and and so a reflection of ourselves is not necessarily like something that's coming to mind right now is an example from politics, but I don't necessarily want to go there. So interbeing and empathy. This is not to say that every single being that you become aware of is mirroring, is reflecting to you exactly the way that you are in the present moment. It could be showing you a belief that you have or a judgment that you have. So say that you meet somebody who really is not aligned with what your values are, and perhaps they're doing things which are harmful to others or whatever the case may be. And some people reject the idea that we're all reflections of one another because they do not wish to be associated with the actions of another person. And so it's not saying that you are doing the exact same things that this other person is doing. Perhaps in that situation it's showing you that you're actually very judgmental of people who do that, or you have a fear of the action that they're taking. That's what's being mirrored to you in that particular instance. And so that's an opportunity for you, for all of us, to re-examine the situation and to show empathy. Why is that person acting in that way? It's probably because they're in fear. And so showing them love and sending them healing energy can shift their perception of reality, perhaps even to the extent where they no longer take those actions. I'm not asking you to put yourself into any type of situation which is not beneficial to you. However, this card is empathy, so it's very easy to have empathy for those who we love or those who we're close to and those who take actions which we agree with. It becomes a little bit more difficult to show empathy to those who we do not agree with or those who we feel wronged by. And this card is asking us to extend that empathy from our hearts to the hearts of all in creation, knowing that we are reflections of one another, we are the same, and we inter-are. There's also an element of receiving in this as well, of receiving support and empathy from others because we inter-are, and not needing to put a particular reason on why is this person doing this. Sometimes it is important to know what people's motives are, and sometimes it's more important to just receive the love and empathy and support that is being offered to us. And then we also had the Angels of Atlantis card, Raziel, Intuition. It's a really beautiful card. I don't know if you can see it, but in the background there's a tree, which reminds me of the tree of life, and then all of the chakras are lit up on this being. So the angel Raziel is bringing us the message to sit in meditation, to ground into our bodies, and to just touch base with our chakras and to see where are we balanced and where are we imbalanced. You can participate in a meditation called the Chakra Dhyana, which goes through each chakra. There are many of them online. So let's see what the sound part of that is. Okay, so it says Raziel is at one with your profound inner intelligence and wants you to be awake to these whisperings. Sit in silence for the oracular proof of Raziel's love. So thank you all so much for joining me in this reading. I hope that it brings you support and guidance and benefits you. Much love and many blessings to all of you.